This video is not like my normal videos. This is a 34-inch ultra-wide QD-OLED. I'm going to be replacing the monitor on my gaming setup back there. Now, if you know anything about me, or if you watched a lot of my videos, I've never tried an ultra-wide monitor. And so this is big because, well, it's big in size, but this is big because I've always not wanted to go away from the 16:9 ratio. I got this from Flip. And if you've watched any of my Flip hauls or if you've seen my Flip profile, that's a website where when I spend $250, they give me $1,000 worth of products for free. I didn't get this for free. I actually paid full price for this. And then I got my $1,000 worth of products for free on top of that. But it was an opportunity for me to spend money within a platform that I'm making money. And so it's kind of like a wash for itself. So I got it basically free because I used my Flip revenue to purchase this. But anyway, that's a little bit how I got it. So I'm letting you know that this is, as always, an honest and transparent review, or look at this product even if it wasn't sent to me by someone else. But anyway, let's jump into this. I'm going to unbox this and put this on the desk back there. Display port cable, power cable, USB hub cable, screws for the wall mount, quick start guide, HDMI cable. I'm not going to unbox the wall mount or the desk mount because I'm not going to use it. They have the box set up so that you can connect the mount, pick it up, but I'm not going to use the mount. So I'm just going to take the wall plate and connect it directly to the back of that, and then I'm going to connect that on the wall back there. So I started thinking to myself, if you're a newbie like me and you've never seen one of these, I wanted to show you the side or the back part of the display. So I'm going to kind of show you here. This is going to be your I/O there. So let me break this down for you. From left to right, you have two HDMI ports, you have a DisplayPort 1.4, you have a USB-C, which is capable of a video signal, and then you have your two USB-As, which are your upstream USBs for plugging in keyboard and mouse and things like that if you want to use this as a KVM. And then you have the USB-B, which is where you plug in the cable that goes to your laptop or PC to provide that USB hub. And then you have a headphone output. So that's your I/O, and that's the inputs for the monitor. And the back of this, or the body of this, is extremely thin. Now, obviously, I would not tell you to be handling this like this. And I wouldn't be handling like this if I wasn't showing you for a video. But this is paper thin, as you can see, looking at the bezels right there. I'm not the bezels, but the frame of the monitor. It's an 1800 curve, and that's the submersion isn't too bad as far as the height. And so I've always been like hesitant to get one of these because of the aspect ratio. Sometimes feeling like they're too skinny at the top, too thin at the top versus the wideness of the picture, and that's kind of been weird for me. But this, having one sitting right in front of me, we're going to see. Doesn't look too bad. So one of the reasons that these are good that they included these in the packaging is because this is a fairly small mount right here that I have for this, and it doesn't necessarily go all the way there. And so these extensions actually help because I can screw this extension in, and then I can put the mount on the extension. So this is going to give me that clearance that I need in order to wall mount the monitor. And so this is perfect. You know, I looked at these when I first opened them up and I was like, I'm not going to use that. But here I am immediately using this. So these are perfect. Yeah. So now that it's completely put on, you can see the spacers create that separation from the back of the monitor there. And then now that arm is on there perfectly. I mean, not the arm, but the plate is on there perfectly without it, without worrying about the problem that it didn't necessarily fit into the space. So that's something that that I would love to have on all of my monitors, just in case I have a monitor arm or monitor wall mount plate that doesn't fit within that little square that they put there. I think that is a genius input, so I wanted to make sure I highlighted that. Thank you, MSI. That's perfect.
Walk up in the spot, they be like, whoa. In the spot, they be like, whoa. Walk up in the spot, they be like, whoa. Set it up, it's on the floor. He claimed that he faithful, he up. Every time I pop out, they be screaming out like, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. These diamonds make me stop. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So there is a huge difference from my IPS panel to the OLED panel, and I have to find a place for my LG 27GP950B, I think that is called, that I've had for a few years, and now I'm on to bigger and better things. And I'm so, like, it's some weird things that happens with the ultra wide. Every game you play, it felt like I had to set the ultra wide to begin with. Like, it started in a weird resolution and I had to go find the resolution or the 21:9 aspect ratio and then start it. And sometimes my background doesn't want to be in a 21:9 aspect ratio. It's all these things that I have not had to deal with, of course, being in a 16:9 ratio, which I'm completely freaking fine because this thing is freaking dope. And I cannot believe I waited this long to try it, but it being OLED is probably the reason that I am embracing it, because in the past I've seen these in like an IPS panel and they kind of have like this weird kind of warp, if you will, when you're when you're using it for productivity or when you're playing a game or something like that. I've never personally used them before. I've just seen them on other people's reviews, and at my last job we used to have them in the office, or the execs did, etc., and it just didn't look right. But they weren't OLED, and they weren't modern and new. They were older, thicker, funnier looking ones. But one thing I did see is that when I was gaming on Suns and I made that field of view, I think 95, which is like the max, it got really like fish eye like, and that was really disorienting, and I didn't like that. The position sitting in front of the desk is kind of close enough to where it's kind of like in your face and you're super immersed in it, and I did enjoy that. But that super ultra wide field of view at 95, on Suns, I didn't enjoy that, and so I'll play around with that in the future with more games. But for a first trial, like, I'm super happy with it. And I'm still going to keep my 16:9 aspect ratio because I do still prefer that because of the vertical real estate. Like, I think while gaming, it wasn't a big deal, but when I was doing like jumping on Google and stuff like that, that's when I started to notice the lack of real estate, especially when you need to scroll a page. Another thing that with this particular monitor, if you're unfamiliar with this particular monitor, when I first turned it on, it would not connect with my DP, my DisplayPort cable. My DisplayPort cable is a small mini DisplayPort to a regular size DisplayPort. There's no adapters, it's just one end is small and one end is regular size, or mini to regular size. For whatever reason, that wouldn't connect at first. And it could be I'll call it seating, the way it goes up into the port. It wouldn't go all the way. And so I'm going to order another cable. Doesn't seem to have any issues now. But for the longest, I could not update the firmware on the monitor because I was not able to use my DisplayPort. First of all, MSI, that's stupid. The ability to only update when using a DisplayPort and the included cables, it's not practical. I mean, a lot of people have these super setups and things like that when they want to go out and buy something like that, and to limit it to the cables that it comes with creates friction in the process, because instead of using things that are already embedded in the wall and different stuff like that, I have to find a way to use the cables that come with it. And the USB cable, the USB hub is super short, so can't really put it through the wall like that, etc. So that's just, I mean, that wasn't cool. That wasn't fun. But I get it, but there should definitely be an easier way to update the monitor in 2025. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying it. Of course, I'm gonna have to use it for a while before any major quirks of moving to an ultra wide comes up. But since that's primarily a gaming desk setup, I don't think that I'm gonna run into it, because I don't do very much productivity on that desk setup. I do want to continue to look at higher end ultra wide monitors, because the MAG version is like their entry level. It's still an OLED, so it's still like pristine panel, but it's not like top features for what they have at MSI. So I do plan to look into more OLEDs. I know there's a 57-inch OLED that is an ultra wide, which is going to give me more vertical real estate. I think that one's by LG, so I'll take a look at that one potentially. But I mean, it took me forever to buy something and put back there, because just took a while. But I nerd out and take sometimes analysis paralysis. But anyway, if you enjoyed today's content and you are curious about this, drop a comment in the comment section below. And if you like today's content, consider subscribing and joining the Cozy Coalition. It's super late. Like, I started the video earlier this morning, and now it's like nighttime and it's almost after midnight, and so I'm like loopy. So this video is starting to run on and on and on. So I'm just gonna end it there. Stay cozy in this crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.